Hey, what's up, my ninjas? How's it going? Everything okay? With me, everything's fine. I just have this pimple on my forehead. It hasn't left me yet. But yeah, I think everything else is being managed. And I'm here today to talk about how I ended up in Finland and how I met my wife and all that. So yeah, I was born and raised in south of Brazil in the city called Pelotas. It's a countryside city, really. Not if you're going to compare it to the Finnish standards, then of course it's a pretty big city, I guess. But for Brazilian standards, it's a countryside. It's not a capital. It's not that close to a capital, and yeah, it's like 3 hours and 30 minutes drive. But yeah, and there are not many foreigners there. Actually, it's pretty rare that you hear stories about Americans, Europeans, or whatever people going to Pelotas for a visit, you know. But we do have people from other states of Brazil, mainly like youngsters and college people, because yeah, we have a really good big university there, public university. So yeah. But anyway, and since forever I've been like highly influenced and like mesmerized by the American entertainment business or industry or whatever you want to call it, you know. Music, video games, movies. Maybe you're gonna say like, yeah, but most of the world is mainly influenced by American culture. Yeah, but if I'm gonna compare me to my friends and to other people that I had contact with and that were surrounding me, I was more into it, you know, I was more into it. And I've always thought that English is the most beautiful language in the world. So since an early age, I was very into like learning English and speaking some English and all that, you know, because in Brazil people don't speak English much, you know. It's not like in Finland. In Finland, it's insane. I've been saying that. It's something that you should be really proud of, Finnish people. You guys speak really good English. Everybody speaks good English, pretty much, even those who don't that much. But yeah, so it was like 2008 or 9 that I really started to, you know, try to practice my English, because I already had some English to practice, right? So I was all the time on the internet trying to find like forums, groups, or blogs or whatever that I could meet people from other countries, so I could be friends with them and practice my English. And then I discovered the Omegle, you know, that page, Talk to Strangers. It was in 2009, I think, or 8, that I really discovered it. I think it was 2008. So, you know, I was just like chatting to random people, and I actually bonded really good with some of them. Then we would add each other on MSN. Rest in peace, MSN, I love you. And then we would just like talk for a long time, months, years, you know. So I had friends from the US, from Europe. Yeah, there was this girl from Spain, a guy from Sweden, and a few Americans. I think that was it mainly, right? Then, of course, I had some virtual friends or online friends from other states in Brazil, but that doesn't count. So yeah, I remember that in the beginning of 2009, I started to develop this big admiration by Sweden, you know. I loved like Swedish music so much. I started to like a lot of Swedish like punk bands and all kinds, like garage kind of rock and stoner metal and many different kinds. Like Sweden is dope for music, and also Swedish girls, they look beautiful. Then because of that, I got into the whole Nordic thing and realized that damn, Nordic countries are dope, man. The girls are beautiful, the music is pretty interesting and pretty like relevant in terms of culture worldwide, right? And so yeah, then in January of 2019, precisely, I still remember this, I met Otto online on Omegle. He is my wife's brother, you know. I was 18. I remember that this kid was like, hey, ASL, age, sex, location. When they, you know, that's how people on Omegle started the conversation mostly. They just wanted to know if you're a girl and if you're not from a country that they are, you know, hoping that you're not from. So I said, like male, 18, American, or the US or something like that. Just because whatever, man, I just want to keep practicing English, you know. So yeah, I decided to add this kid on MSN because he was pretty cool. So yeah, I talked to this kid for a while. He was pretty cool. We were talking about music and stuff. He was into new metal, Korn and Slipknot and those bands. And yeah, And at this specific moment, he said, hey man, talk to my sister here. I'm gonna go to the bathroom or some shit. Crazy stuff, because then this girl came and she was pretty cool. I remember that either he told me that she was drunk or she told me herself that she was drunk, but one of those two. And yeah, she was pretty cool, and she looked really good also. I remember, I mean, she was not exactly the kind of Nordic girl that I would imagine that I would be that much interested in, because because she was 18 back then also. So she had all this like crazy style with a short hair dyed in black and a bunch of piercings on her face and all. But still, man, I could see through all that, and that girl was gorgeous, you know. I was like, God damn, she's cool, she's interesting, and she's gorgeous. So why not? Why not keeping talking to her until the end of the day? There's no reason for it. And of course, I continued to say that I was American. I never planned to lie to her or anything like that. I never planned to, you know, present myself as someone else or anything like that. But I already told her brother that I was American, you know. And she was making me all those questions about how things were there and about the weather and stuff. So I had to Google how things were there so I could tell her. But that was not the biggest part of our friendship, you know. The biggest thing is that we were really like enjoying each other's company. So for a long time, every day we talked to each other, man, every day. And she found me attractive and cool and awesome and all that as well. And but yeah, we never had to tell that to each other. We never had to bring that up as, oh my God, or it was just like really realistic long distance friendship between two people who actually liked each other and who found each other attractive. But yeah, that was it, you know, for a while. I remember that in 2011, 1 year afterwards, because this started right in the beginning of 2010, so in the beginning of 2011 or something, I remember that I thought, fuck man, where am I gonna go now with that shit, you know? Because she's talking about me going to Finland to meet her and to hang out and everything, and I'm like, yeah, man, that's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna go to Finland. It's awesome, this idea. I'm gonna figure something out and everything. Then I'm like, I'd rather just like quit talking to her, man. As fucking shitty as it sounds and as fucking terrible as it is, you know, because I would not want to stop talking to her. She was great company for me. I thought that, fuck, I'm just gonna have to keep it like that and keep her in my memory. I'm just gonna disappear. Whatever, man. Judge me as a coward or as a liar or as whatever, man. I was 18. I was just like living life and learning. I didn't plan none of this, but yeah. So for a while, I just like I think I deleted her from Facebook or no, sorry, from MSN and everything. And then we were basically a year without talking to each other. I think it was a whole year without talking to each other. Then at some point, I think 1 year after that, yeah, after this 1 year, of course, so she sent me this email saying that, who the fuck are you? I found this bunch of like Facebook pages with your face on the profile, and there are like 3 or 4 of them, and it feels like at any moment my bank account money is gonna be like erased because you or whatever you are is gonna steal it from me because I just got spammed or hacked or whatever, something like this. But kind of being funny and everything. I mean, she didn't seem to be extremely pissed off at me. She just was like, "What the fuck, dude? I just want some explanation. Like, what the fuck?" Right? So I wrote this big ass email replying to her and being pretty like cool about it, I guess, and apologizing a lot and making sure that she would get me that I'm not a bad guy. I didn't mean to lie. I didn't mean to keep this untrue story for so long, right, and all that. Yeah, and I remember that she responded pretty well to it, you know. So she was like, yeah, so who are you? Where are you from? Where's the real name? What is the real stuff? And I told her that, yeah, everything that I told you is true, you know, except that part, except the part that I am from the US and that I live in Branson, Missouri, and, you know. So after that, again, we kept being really good friends and talking more even intensely than the first time. We were talking for months and months every day, you know, and that was crazy actually, you know, because she was working at the time, I wasn't. I was living with my mom and everything. She was working and doing her stuff and going to school and everything. And she still like found the time to talk to me every day. And whatever I was doing with my friends, hanging out, smoking weed, going around, whatever, I always found time to talk to her also. So it was a pretty solid friendship, I would say. It was so solid that she planned to go to Brazil for real. And then she bought the damn tickets, you know. She bought the damn tickets. Before that, she bought a bunch of gifts to me and to my family for Christmas. And she just made this package, this big box with a bunch of stuff. A few CDs, Yuka Poika CDs, like Yuka Poika. Yuka Poika. Damn, even I found myself ridiculous when I say that. I can hear it and it sounds very like that. But yeah, chocolate, candy, those Turkish pepper stuff that, and sour stuff and salmiakki and all that. But some good stuff, of course, the chocolate and everything. Chips, I think, something like that. Because yeah, of course, I mean, even though we were Skyping all the time and video chatting all the time, you know, still she would come alone to Brazil, so of course she had to make sure that I was a real person, because after all, I was lying to her at some point anyways. She had to be sure that it's as real as it gets, the whole thing. And yeah, so then I told my dad, my mom, everybody. My dad was building this big ass house at the time, and I told my dad, Dad, this girl, man, she's amazing, she looks amazing, and she's coming, and I would like to stay here at your house with her, you know, in one bedroom, because he had plenty of space in his house. And my dad was pretty excited about that too. After all, his son that didn't like school, and he out of nowhere learned really good English and got a girl from Europe that looks really good and that is smart and everything to be into him, and that's willing to come to see him like overseas. You know, that's pretty cool. My mom, everybody was excited. People were like, damn, that's pretty cool. She had actually bought the fucking tickets, man. That's amazing, you know. So yeah, in 2014, in the beginning of the year, in March the 20th to be precise, I remember this like really clearly. She arrived in Brazil. You know, the experience was crazy, man. It was a Finnish girl in Pelotas, where only a few tourists from other countries like that have been to so far. At least in my opinion, man, you know. So she just fell in love with the culture, with how people were treating her, and how like friendly and warm people were, and how the weather was warm, and how everything was like very simple but nice. And we fell in love really quickly, man. It didn't need many days, actually. I'm gonna say we fell in love really quickly. And after she left, it was the craziest amount of pain that I had felt so far. And for her the same, because like we fell in love like this. We had this crazy 1 month experience with each other, very intense and everything. And then she leaves. We don't know when we're gonna see each other, right? And out of nowhere, it felt like the whole thing was just a dream, you know? That's, yeah. So right away, she figured out a way to go back to Brazil again in the same year. So she went back there in June this time, which is wintertime in Brazil. But it was, again, amazing. It was a month and all that, but she already knew the people in the country and the culture and all that. And then I'm like, God damn, I'm gonna propose to this girl. Actually, I planned on proposing to her before she arrived there. I'm gonna put a ring on this girl's finger, and she's gonna be mine, and we're gonna get married and all that. So I did it, and she took it, and she said yes. So yeah, I was working as an English teacher back then, but I didn't have enough money to buy like tickets to come to Finland and everything. But my dad gave me some money. My dad was actually doing a pretty good deal with his house that he was selling and building a new one and all that. So he just gave me this money, and before she left to Finland, I bought the tickets to come here for the first time, you know? And I bought the ticket for 3 months. Yeah, so we were 3 months apart, and then I came to Finland for the first time. And yeah, I think that's about it for now, you know? That's how I ended up in Finland, man. I can make a video talking about how things were as soon as I got to Finland. I think I made something like that already, maybe, but probably it was not so well done. I could get more specific into details or something. If you want to, if you don't give a shit about it, then I'm probably not gonna do it. I hope you give a shit about what I just said right now. So maybe you want to subscribe to the channel and give me like thumbs up and maybe share this to people. I realize there are many Brazilians living in Finland and many Brazilians to come to Finland. And I don't know, maybe Finnish people into going to Brazil to meet a guy or a woman or just for a visit really, and maybe maybe you want to check it out for entertainment purposes or some kind of value that I might add to your life. But this video probably is long enough already, so I'm just gonna like shut down for now. And thanks for watching. If you watched it until here, you've gone pretty far. Thanks guys, have a nice day, enjoy, peace.